So I'll be doing that. And there may be some patches that'll be a little bit darker than the other, and it's not going to be uniform in the real world, so we're going to have some variances in how consistently black it is across the bottom, but we don't want to go too crazy here, just to show that this car has been out in the world for a while and is in serious need of a bath. Alright, here we go. I think I'm kind of getting this to where I want it to be. Alright. Let's blow some of the excess off. So I don't know if you can see the difference here. Oops, I don't know how well this is working. Bring this up as close as possible. We got some grime towards the bottom, and it kind of transitions to a little bit more white at the top. Now what I'm going to do is take a little of my light dust and try to blend that. Just kind of start from the middle and work up towards the top, so you don't have quite as distinct a line between dark and light. Just kind of blend it up, starting from the middle, working up to the top. That's a little bit better. Okay. Doesn't look like you drew a line and just started painting your grime at the bottom here. Looks a little bit more gradual transition between the grimier bottom half of the car and the somewhat cleaner top half. Okay, let me do a little bit more, touch more grime at the bottom. Try to get a little bit more consistent. And you know, I don't really change brushes. I just kind of use the same brush for all the colors. It's not a big deal if you get a little black, dark in with the light stuff, because, you know, unless you've made a whole bunch of powder at one shot and you want to save it for next time, it doesn't matter if things kind of get a little mixed up. It kind of will shade your car a little bit differently each time, and that's not a bad thing, because things aren't going to be consistent in the real world. Some cars will be dirtier than others, and some cars will have traveled through different areas of the country and acquired different colored dust, so that's not a big deal if you kind of mix a little dark in with a little black in with your light, and so on. So that's don't fret about that, because that's kind of the way things are in the real world. Oops, so let's get this over here so you can see what I'm doing. Alright. Now I would have liked to, actually I'm not sure what kind of liquid would be held in this car, because it doesn't really look like an oil car. If it was oil, I would have liked to shown you how to put streaks down the side of where spills have happened and oil leaks out, but Atlas conveniently made this middle band black, so that actually isn't going to work too well to show you. But that's a situation where I think probably it diverged a little bit from the pure charcoal method, and probably take a fine brush and take some dilute enamel black paint, flat paint, and just kind of paint little streaks down the side. So I've done that before with other cars in the past, and that works fairly well to simulate spills and stuff like that down the side. So that's what I would have done if this middle band was completely white, but now since it's black, it's going to kind of hide everything, so it's like, well, why bother? Alright, let me do this a little bit more. Get a little bit more grime. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and make a transition here, starting from the middle, working your way up like that. Get yourselves a nice weathered car that's been around the world a few times. So, okay, I think we are ready to go here and give this a shot of the matte finish. So I will run outside and do that and come back and we'll take a look at the finished result. So I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm back from putting a shot of the matte finish on here, and this is a situation where I ended up having to do this over again, and this is a problem that you may run into, and that is fingerprints showing up on the outside of the car, where you held the car up or touched it at one time and there was a fingerprint on it, and the oils just attracted your chalk and fingerprint showed up. And that's a pretty easy fix. I mean, what I did was I just took the entire car and washed all the dust off of it. Okay, I used a soft bristle toothbrush and some warm water and some dishwashing soap and just gently scrubbed the outside of the car. And you want to use a soft bristle toothbrush because you don't want to use anything too harsh, and be careful not to hit any of these, knock any of these railings off or anything like that. And that works fine. I used a hairdryer to dry the outside off, and you may want to let it dry a little longer because sometimes water gets into the cracks here. These cars do come apart, but it's a lot more difficult to take them apart. So I actually let this car, just put it aside and let it dry completely for a couple of days after giving it a shot with the hairdryer. And so anyway, after I'd done that, I went ahead and applied the powder, the chalk, again to the side and gave it a shot of the matte finish, and this is it. Hopefully you can see how this turned out okay in this video. At the top here it's relatively clean, light color of dusting. Then as I go down the sides it gets darker, you know, because that's what you'll see a lot of in the real world, is that it'll be relatively clean on the top and then you'll have the dirt that collects on the side. So and like I said earlier, I got that effect by, well, basically brushing the entire car with light dust for giving that light coat of dust, and then taking the charcoal and just dabbing the sides like that, and just to get that gradient. And then if the transition was too abrupt here between the dark and the light, you just take another go over it with some more light chalk and just dust the top off. And that's how I got this transition from clean, well, just lightly dusty, to more grimy down the side. So that's how I did a tank car. So you can vary the degrees of dirt and grime you put on each car. If you want to model a new car that's just been out in service for a little bit, all you need to do is take a little of your light dust and go over the whole thing, blow the excess off, and give it a shot of your acrylic spray, and you're done. You know, because that's, you know, because a car that's only been in service for a short time will only have a light amount of dust on it. So cars that have been in service longer will have heavier amounts of grime on it. So anyway, that's it for now. So take care and have fun modeling.